From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
Power washing for San Francisco's power brokers. New video as crews clean up UN Plaza as the conversation over the fentanyl crisis goes from City Hall to the streets. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook. It's a plan to hold the mayor accountable for the drug crisis. Mayor London Breen set to answer questions at 2 p.m. about the city's response to the drug that has choked the life out of far too many people who live on these streets.
Wilson Walker sets the scene at City Hall for us and hears from one woman who just wants solutions.
But I just pray that something really comes out of it, all that talking that they're doing in the middle of the street, you know.
Like many others in this part of the city, Gwendolyn Johnson has her own questions about City Hall's field trip to UN Plaza, bringing the mayor's monthly question time to the heart of the city's drug crisis.
But see, when they go out there doing a little talk, who are they talking to? You know what I mean?
A humanitarian crisis with 2 deaths per day from drug overdoses. And it's happening in the shadows of City Hall, literally. I mean, just across this plaza.
Board of Supervisors President Aaron Peskin proposed the on-location hearing. He says it's about holding the mayor accountable.
We say often that this is a crisis and it's an emergency, but it's time for us to treat it as one.
Mayor London Breed, of course, declared her own state of emergency in the neighborhood back in 2021. Since then, a service center turned safe use site has opened and closed, and the city has recently pressed harder on drug dealing. The problems, however, have been vexing for years, and substantial progress has been elusive.
Honestly, regardless of where they have the discussions at, it doesn't matter, because the discussion is more as an action that you need to take.
And data shows that the country's drug problem is spreading beyond fentanyl. The CDC says that overdose deaths involving methamphetamines are rising faster than fentanyl. Deaths involving cocaine are also up. And Mayor London Breen spoke this morning ahead of that community conversation on fentanyl. A 2023 City Beat poll shows 77% of people think San Francisco is on the wrong track. The mayor says making people feel safer will be a big part of flipping that number around.
I know that we're resilient. I know people may try to kick us down, but for whatever reason, we continue to emerge a better, stronger, more vibrant, amazing city than ever before. And no one's going to stop us from coming back from that.
And some results from that poll: 60% of voters named crime and public safety a major issue. That's gone up substantially every year since 2020. Only 30% of respondents felt safe going to downtown at night.
All right, let's switch gears here for a moment to First Alert weather. Here's meteorologist Darren Peck. Kind of a hazy day today, Darren.
It is. Marine layers started to build back a bit. We got a little more humidity in the air. It's just a little more haze. It might not look perfectly clear out there as a result of all that, but we're doing okay. Air quality's doing okay. Current numbers out there now in the city, still in the mid-50s. There's a lot more sunshine if you go south, though. San Jose, that's you. You see a little bit of the haze out there off in the distance. The number here is in the mid-60s. And if we go farther inland, there's really not a whole lot of difference. We'll go to the top of Mount Diablo and look down on Walnut Creek now, where the number is low to mid-60s. And that number for Walnut Creek should climb to the low 70s today. Plenty of sunshine. We'll look at everybody else for daytime highs on here. It'll be more blue sky and a pretty typical day. One thing about it is we've started a cooling trend. And we are noticeably cooler than yesterday. Like in some places, this is like a 10-degree drop just from Monday to Tuesday. That's the biggest one-day change in the 7-day forecast, but a lot of these numbers are going to keep going down. I'll show you how low they're going to go. Coming up in the complete First Look forecast in a few minutes. For now, Liz, back to you.
All right, Darren, thanks so much. Well, turning now to our other top stories. Another delay in the case against the suspect accused of beating former SF Fire Commissioner Don Carmignani. The hearing pushed to tomorrow morning because there was not an available courtroom today. Another recent hearing in Garrett Doty's case was pushed when Carmignani did not show up. Doty was since released, but he faces charges of assault and battery.
A U-Haul driver that crashed into a security barrier near the White House has been arrested and charged with several crimes, including threatening to kill or harm a president. The U.S. Secret Service says last night's crash may have been intentional. No injuries were reported. No explosives were found inside the truck, but a Nazi flag was found nearby.
Former President Donald Trump appearing by video today for his criminal case in Manhattan. The Republican presidential candidate is facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. He has pleaded not guilty. Trial is now set for March of next year. A New York judge is explaining to Trump about a court order that will prevent him from publicizing material released from the prosecution. Trump can only speak about information that is already public. Meanwhile, developing on Capitol Hill right now, more debt ceiling talks happening between the White House and House Republicans. There's just over a week before the Treasury Department predicts the U.S. could run out of money to pay its bills. White House negotiators arrived on Capitol Hill this morning. President Joe Biden and Speaker Kevin McCarthy met last night. Both said they are making progress and can have a deal done by June 1st. There are, however, some concerns on Wall Street that it will take a market drop to jolt negotiators to realize that these stakes are very high.